Let me ask you a very simple question. If you are someone who wants to follow Sharia principles in your investments, can you actually take an insurance product in India today? Because Axis Max Life launched a couple of years back the ULIP linked to something called Pure Growth Fund. And this product has a certification as Sharia compliant from the scholars. But at the same time, insurance itself has always been a gray area in Islamic finance. So today, I'm going to break this down very honestly, no bias, and by the end of the video, you will clearly understand whether this is truly compliant and most importantly, whether this makes sense for you. Now, before we go further, I want to address something openly. Some of you might be thinking you earlier said ULIPs are not Sharia compliant. And yes, that's correct. And I still stand by that. Most insurance products in India, including typical ULIPs, are not structured to be Sharia compliant. And that's exactly what I've explained in my earlier videos as well. But what is different here is this. This product, which has investments, has Sharia compliant investments already, and then also justify the overall structure based on necessity and lack of alternatives in India. So my core view has not changed. Insurance is still a gray area. ULIPs which have not been certified by scholars are something I will still not share, as I myself am not an expert in Sharia compliance. I go by what is being shared and what we have on paper by the scholars. But as an advisor, my job is to evaluate new developments honestly, not to promote or not to reject blindly, but to help you understand both the sides. And that's exactly what we plan to do in this video. And after watching this video, if you're still confused about what to do, whether to go for this ULIP or to understand where this fits in your portfolio, don't try to figure it out alone because the right answer depends on your income, your family, and your goals. You can always contact me on the WhatsApp number which you see on the screen. Also, in the description and in the pinned comment, you will find the WhatsApp link. I help not just selecting the funds but also creating a financial plan for you. And most importantly, I have built a calculator for specifically ULIP returns which I will show you in the video so you can see the actual numbers behind this product. Let's first understand what exactly is being offered here. This is not a simple insurance product. This is a ULIP, unit linked insurance plan, which means it combines two things. One is insurance and the other part is the investment. Now the investment part here is linked to something called as pure growth fund. This is where the compliance comes in. This fund has been certified as Sharia compliant, which you will see on the screen right now. In fact, the certification clearly states that the pure growth fund has been reviewed and is in Sharia compliance. And not just that, even the ULIP structure, when combined with this specific fund, has been declared permissible for Indian Muslims by a Sharia board. You can see the certification on the screen. Also, I will give the links to all of these certifications and the justifications which these scholars have shared in the description. So, you are investing in a compliant fund and you are getting insurance along with that. Sounds like a perfect solution, right? But now let's go one layer deeper to understand this better. This is the part most people miss. Even in their official document, they clearly mention something very important. They say the investment part is Sharia compliant, but the life insurance part remains conventional. And they also mention that these two cannot be separated due to the regulatory structure which is currently in India and for Indian Sharia investors. Now, this is the main point of the discussion because traditionally insurance has concerns like uncertainty, interest based investments, and risk transfer. And that's why many scholars have historically had reservations about it. So now the question becomes if the insurance part is still conventional, how is the overall product being called permissible? To understand this, we need to look at the Indian context and how all of these products are set up. Because globally, there is something called as takaful, which is Islamic insurance. But in India, this is not available. So here in India, you really don't have a fully Sharia compliant insurance option. And this is exactly what the document discusses in detail. It explains that financial protection is necessary. Families depend on income, and ignoring insurance can create serious hardship. So the scholars apply a principle. Necessity allows certain exceptions. If there is no perfect alternative available and the objective is protection and not profit, then some level of flexibility is allowed. So based on this reasoning, they conclude that this ULIP structure can be considered permissible in the Indian context. Like I mentioned, I will also share the document in which all of these justifications are mentioned in the description. Now, before we even get to whether this product makes sense or not, we need to understand one very important thing. Where exactly is your money being invested? Because at the end of the day, this is still a market linked product. So your returns will depend on the underlying fund, which is the pure growth fund. So let's look at the fund itself. This fund is designed to be Sharia compliant, which means it avoids sectors like banking, alcohol, gambling, and other non permissible businesses. So, from a screening perspective, this is similar to what we see in Sharia mutual funds. Asset allocation. Now, if you look at how this fund is structured, almost 97% of the portfolio is in equities, and only a very small portion, around 3%, is in cash or money market instruments. So, effectively, this is pure equity oriented fund, which means higher growth potential but also higher volatility. Portfolio and stocks. Now, coming to the actual holdings, this fund has invested in companies which are Jindal Steel 4.7%, Fortis Healthcare 4.62%, Ultratech Cement, Infosys, BEL, Lupin, Astral. These are all well known, fundamentally strong companies. So, from a portfolio quality perspective, this is not a random or weak portfolio. It is built with established businesses. Sector allocation. If you look at sectors, the major exposure is towards pharma, IT, manufacturing, infra, and again, importantly, you will not find banking or financial services here because of Sharia screening. Now, coming to the performance. Since this fund started only recently around Feb 2023, we don't have a very long track record, but based on available data, the last 1 year returns are in between the range of 12 to 13%. The long term annualized numbers are something which you see on the screen, which we have for 2, 3, and since inception. So at this stage, we should treat this as a new fund. Now, here is my honest take on this fund. Structurally, it looks similar to a Sharia compliant equity mutual fund. Portfolio quality looks decent. I will also in future do a comparison of mutual fund and ULIP portfolio. Sector allocation is aligned with Sharia principles. So if you're investing here, you're also taking a view on how this fund would perform over time. Now, there is one very important angle we need to talk about. And honestly, this is where this product becomes very interesting. The tax treatment. Because in investing, it's not just about returns, it's also about what you actually keep after tax. Now, in this ULIP, if your annual premium is within 2.5 lakhs, the maturity proceeds can be completely tax free under Section 1010D, which means whatever fund value you build over time, you get that amount without paying any tax on it. And on top of that, if you're still following the old tax regime, the premium you pay can also be claimed under the Section 80C. So effectively, you are getting deductions while investing and tax-free income when you receive the money. Now, this combination is quite powerful because when you compare investments which are beyond this, most people only look at returns. But in reality, you should also consider the post tax return, which is what actually matters. Let me now walk you through the returns calculator so that you can understand how all of these work. But okay, so this is our website, Alt Invest, and this is where I have built this ULIP calculator specifically to understand what kind of tax benefit you will get. So let's take a first example of 2.5 lakhs as the annual premium. You pay for 10 years and then you would like to withdraw it after 15 years. Let's take a nominal return of 12%, although the fund has been giving 15 to 17% return. So once you enter all of these details, you will be able to see total investment is 25 lakhs and the maturity amount is 86 lakhs. In this, you get 100% tax free, which is 61 lakhs of profit which you have made is completely tax free. Here you can see the roadmap of invest 2.5 for 10 years and it grows in 12% per annum. Now let's take another example wherein you, instead of paying 2.5 lakhs, you pay 5 lakhs. You take the same pay term and policy and the return. Now here you will see you have total invest of 50 lakhs. Your maturity value has become 1.73. But what will happen is only the principal is tax free. That means only the 50 lakhs will be tax free. Rest of the gains which you get, which is 1.23 crores, will be taxed at the capital gains rate, which is at 12.5% as of now. So that's the difference when you go with a premium of less than 2.5 lakhs and more than 2.5 lakhs. Let's take another example. You want to invest 2 lakhs per annum and you want to do for 15 years and you would like to withdraw it after 5 years from the 15 years. So it is 20 years of total policy term. Here you can see total premium is 2 lakhs. So the total investment is 30 lakhs. Maturity amount is 1.47. But since you are doing a 2.5 lakhs lesser premium, the entire gain, which is 1.17, is tax free. So that's the benefit which you get with this product. You can get the link to this calculator once you join the group which we have for Sharia investors. I have shared the WhatsApp link in the description. You can join the WhatsApp group and the details regarding this link and also all products related to Sharia is shared in that group. But with this, there is very important caveat you need to know. This product has a lock-in period of 5 years. What it means is that if you invest today, for next 5 years, whatever amount you invest cannot be withdrawn. That's a drawback, but with that, you get the advantage of tax free returns. So, who should actually consider this? If you're someone who wants simplicity, prefers one combined product, is comfortable with certain level of alternative options for investing, then yes, this could be an option. But if you're someone who wants maximum Sharia clarity, wants better return optimization, and is okay managing insurance and investment separately, then you should look at the options which are available in the market, which are the Sharia compliant mutual funds. Also, like I mentioned, this product has a 5-year lock-in period also. So the question you should ask or consult your scholars is this Sharia compliant or not? Instead, the real question is this right structure for your life? Because finance is never one size fit all. So depending on your income, your family, and your goals, the right answer can be very different. If you're seriously considering this plan or any kind of investment decision, don't take any decisions based on just one video. Get a proper financial plan done. I help clients with mutual funds, investments, direct equity, which is Sharia compliant, and also products like ULIPs. So if you want a clear roadmap tailored to you, message me directly on the WhatsApp number which you see on the screen or through the link which is there in the description and pinned comment. Let's build this the right way, because at the end of the day, it's not about finding a perfect product, it's about making the right decision for your family.